Okay, so the third type of painting we're going to do is kind of freestyle, and we're going to reminisce a little bit. So I'm going to ask you to tell me a little bit about somewhere that you loved going when you were a bit younger, maybe when you were a child, or maybe when you were going on holidays, or when you were a bit older. Is there a place that's really, really important to you?
I'm not sure about important, but the one thing that springs to mind is like days out at the seaside.
On the seaside?
Yeah, so, and we'd have a picnic. Normally sand in your sandwiches, but you'd have a picnic and
that's part of the puzzle, isn't it?
Pop, a big bottle of a glass bottle then, because you wouldn't have plastic, you'd have glass bottles of pop. And crisps and things. I'm talking about food now. And then obviously my mother would put the picnic things out, and you'd have all nice glasses and everything. And then we'd make sandcastles. And I had a bucket and spade that was probably the same colour as the turtle I did in the last picture, a psychedelic bucket.
Okay, so already have a beautiful little scenery here. We've got the sea, so what we've got? We've got the sand, we've got the sea, we've got the sky. So that can be our start for our painting, maybe.
Okay.
So shall we start with the sand?
Okay.
Yeah, so the sand, you can use whatever brushes, but these little sponge ones are really nice. And you want, what sort of colours do you think we're going to use?
Yellow, orange.
Unless it was a pebble beach.
No, I'm thinking of a nice sandy beach.
Sandy beach, yeah. The
almost white sand, but it had yellow in it.
Okay, so we've got a bit of white, maybe. That might be good. And we've got the sound of the seagulls as well, which is perfect. For once, we want to hear them.
They do pinch your sandwiches though, so you're going to be so careful.
Yes. So many pasties and ice creams have been lost to the...
I put pegs on this time because last time I didn't use them, but I noticed the paper was slipping, so it's much easier with the pegs, I think. Absolutely,
and also if you are actually painting at the seaside, you want the pegs on.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll just do the background, so a bit of sand, and you can just dab a little bit to give it a bit of texture.
Okay, I've got some water on there. A little bit of orange, and then mine's slightly dark, I think. So, because the sand is here, the sea is going to be there, so we are sitting here?
We are kind of sitting, yes. It's all in front of us. Well, you make it what you like, however you sit.
To imagine where you're sitting.
Yes, we're looking at the sea. Where do you used to go?
Barry Island.
Barry Island.
Porthcawl.
Can't beat Barry Island.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the Gower is such a beautiful place, isn't it? When you go a little bit further.
The Gower, yes. Yeah, my auntie had a caravan in the Gower, and we'd go down there sometimes as well. That's so we were very lucky.
Okay, so I think I've got my sand.
I've got a bit of green in mine because it's a bit different.
Yes. We've got a bit of algae who's washed up on the sea.
Yes.
That's see? There's always happy accidents. Okay, so what color are we going to go for the sea?
Like a greeny blue.
Greeny blue. So we've got some blue.
I suppose it all depends on if it's a sunny day, but we've got blue.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So is it a calm sea? Is it a rough sea?
Oh, a less of a rough sea, is it?
Rough sea, is
Oh, I
it?
think I've mixed it with that one. I should mix it with this one as well.
Okay, my sea is very green. It's like
Mine's very
emerald a little bit, a bit too much, I think. I'm just gonna add a bit of blue and white. It's a rough sea. I've got a very rough sea. But I love that.
I love
when you've got
using
big
these
waves,
sponges.
and they're wonderful, aren't they?
Yeah, it's brilliant. And you can almost make the pattern of the sea.
Yeah, and then you
With the
can
waves.
get it come onto the sand a little bit. You know, the tide is coming in.
Yeah,
Can mix the
so you
colours a little bit.
can be messy, and it looks okay.
I think you should definitely be messy. Yeah, yours very emerald.
Very green.
Yeah. Well, I looked at the sea yesterday. It was very brown, but
Maybe put a bit of brown in then.
okay. So that's my sea done. Should we go for the sky?
Yeah.
So how's your sky? Is it when you picture yourself, you're on the beach with your family eating a sandy sandwich? Is it raining as well, or is it a bright blue sky?
It's a bright blue sky because when I was little, we had longer summers. It feels like longer summers anyway. So yeah, the sun would be out. It would be really hot and it would be bright.
Okay, so bright blue sky. Then, so if you clean your brush,
Okay.
so kind of started. It's a fresh paint. Now, how often did you used to go to the beach then? Did you live close to the beach, or was it like a big day trip?
It was a big day trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, a big day trip. We'd go probably in the school holidays about 3 or 4 times, but it was a big event.
It was a big event. So
Or you go
a lot
with
of
your
time,
chapel.
A lot of time packing everything.
With the sandwiches and your bathers and your bucket and spades and...
Pack the car up.
Well, sometimes you just go on the bus.
You go on the bus.
Yeah, you carry everything on the bus and everybody would be going to the same place, so you'd be all excited.
Oh, lovely. And I bet it must have been really hot in the bus. And the summer was packed with people with their sandwiches and everything. All the kids shouting and...
It probably was, but you don't... I don't think I felt uncomfortable. I was just so excited. It didn't matter. My mother was probably feeling uncomfortable carrying everything and everyone's coats, because even if it wasn't raining, you'd always have a raincoat just in case.
Well, it's British summer, you can't...
And you'd always have a spare clothes just in case. So your mother would probably be lumbered with everything to carry.
Okay. That's a big summer sky that we've got there. It's going to be white there. Okay. And you can almost, sometimes the sky kind of merge into the sea. You can't tell where it starts, where it ends. But
And I suppose ours are very different, but we're on different days.
absolutely, yeah. And I think one thing I'm going to have on mine, one thing I remember when I was a kid, I used to go to the beach in Belgium. They used to have those big jellyfish that just washed off onto the beach. They were big and blue, and so I'm going to have 1 or 2 of these, I think, on mine.
Well, I'm going to put just a little bucket and spade.
Bucket and spade.
Just
So, yeah.
to,
So you're using a finer brush than for
yes.
the detail work. Nice.
And I think I've learned from you, it doesn't really matter what it looks like if it's not perfect. It's just that, to me, that's my bucket and spade.
Absolutely, yeah. If you can, if it reminds you of what it was, then that's what you want, isn't it? So I'm gonna use this wonderful little sponge brush, which is round. I'm gonna dab 1 or 2 washed off jellyfish. There we are. Do they look like jellyfish?
No.
No? They do to me. That wasn't the right answer, but...
Okay, does that look like a bucket and spade?
Absolutely.
Thank you. You're too kind.
Yeah, okay. So what else? Food, we did loads of food, you said.
Yes, you'd be having a picnic and you'd have a tartan rug with all your bits and pieces on for your picnic.
Excellent. I'm going to have a little blankie, a red blankie on my beach.
Did you say red blankie?
Yeah.
I'm going to have a tartan one. It's got blue and...
And mine is red.
There we are. It's just... And it has fringes on, so they can have blue fringes.
And I think it's got to be a sea motif on it, right? Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what this is, but it is something. There you go. It's a shellfish, maybe?
Yes, very good.
And what else have we got on our beach?
I think I've finished mine.
You finished yours?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just going to add a little football, because we always play football on the beach. It's a red one.
Football, yes.
And I'm just going to give it some little white dots. And finally, a little bird, a little white bird.
Oh, yes, I could have a bird.
In the sky. Maybe 2 even. Just like that. Happy little seagulls.
Yeah.
There we
Ready
are.
to pinch your sandwiches.
Brilliant. Good job.
And you. Thank you. I really enjoyed that.
So, and that is our memories of the seaside, Wales, Belgium.
I've had a brilliant time. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Brilliant.